Reading from an article on Al Jazeera called Al-Aqsa, UN Slams Israel Killings of Young Palestinians. Quote, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said he deeply deplores the killings of 3 Palestinians, one of whom was shot by a settler, as anger boiled over increased Israeli restrictions at Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa compound. Guterres condemned the killings and called for an investigation early on Saturday, hours after mass protests by Palestinians around the holy site turned deadly. Unquote. So this is a site Muslims call the Noble Sanctuary, or known as Temple Mount in the Jewish faith. As is my limited understanding of what's occurring, 2 Israeli cops were killed about a week ago, which prompted the authorities to put in some metal detectors at entry points to this site compound. And this has led to increasing tension, which has spilled over into violence. After these Palestinians were killed, several Israelis were stabbed to death in the occupied West Bank. Muslims and Palestinian leaders have called for a day of rage amid mounting international pressure. I don't know. Perhaps you would be of the view that it's easy enough to just skim over any story about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Israeli occupation. Terrible stories of killings and injustices being so commonplace, so par for the course, that it's just part of the furniture for daily international news. It can be the background noise, if you like, to whatever else is going on that particular day. I say we have to stop ourselves, make the effort to avoid falling into that state where we ignore or simply tut-tut at the latest happenings, and we should step back to see the historical picture. And the picture is one of tyranny. Yeah, tyranny that's lasted for decades. The UN has tried to do what it can through pressure, diplomacy, and, to be fair, action on the ground in terms of humanitarian support, but clearly this international body isn't strong enough to challenge Israeli oppression or broker the much spoken of 2-state solution. Israeli hardliners, neo-Zionists, their solution is to kick the Arabs out. Israel, the Holy Land. Palestine doesn't exist. Yeah, there is clearly religious bigotry and racist elements to this movement. It's a hardline right-wing movement. Yeah. I have only a rough idea what terms like post-Zionist and neo-Zionist mean, and I'm not an expert on Israeli politics by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think you have to be an expert to see what's going on, generally speaking. It is the dominance of one group or community over another group or community, with the humiliation and hatred that comes with it. Yeah. Mahmoud Abbas said, "On behalf of the Palestinian leadership, I declare a freeze on contacts with the occupying state on all levels until Israel commits to cancelling its measures against our people in general, and especially in Jerusalem City and Al-Aqsa Mosque. So yeah, watch this space, it could escalate fast.